All right, Algebra 1. Welcome to another amazing edition of Mr. A's Algebra 1 class. All right, so we are all in Chapter 1, Section 4. Let's get our textbooks open to page 26. Let's get that right there, page 26, okay? So everybody, textbooks open. Get ready to take some notes. We got quite a few notes to take, few example problems to go through here, okay? So the section is write equations and inequalities, and we will be doing some solving right at the end of this section, okay? So the first thing you should notice is you're going to be copying the key concept chart on page 26, all right? Now, I know that in our Zoom, some of you have been asking, do I have to do all of these notes? And always my answer there is these notes are for you, for your benefit. And if you don't actually write these notes down at some point, it could come back to get you, okay? So I'm talking about tests or quizzes, midterms, finals, all that fun stuff that no one likes to think about. But if you put in the time now, you should be just fine later, okay? So there you go, don't forget that. All right, so again, key concept chart, page 26. I need you to read as well as look at examples 1 through 3. All 3 of those examples, they're on page 26 and 27. So read it through, look at them, and follow all the steps that they go through, all right? Because that's the book's examples and their way of doing these diagrams for you, okay, on top of the examples that I will show you in this video. There are 5 key terms. You need to make sure that you define, or at the very minimum, you understand their definitions and you know what those words mean for later. Whether you write them down now, again, later they could pop up. Could be in other videos, could be on a quiz, could be on next assignment, could be on the test. And if you don't know what these words mean, then I can't help you, okay? Because on a test, if you say, what does that word mean? I'm going to know it was one of our key terms. I'm not going to give you the answer, okay? There you go. All right, so a quick last little note here. Every time you see the word is, that means equals, all right? Now, there may be times where you see the word is right before a statement that is actually an inequality. So is greater than. So in other words, that's telling you that there's an inequality. Like is would mean equals, but then they tagged on that phrase greater than. So it's going to be a greater than inequality. If they simply use the word is, like x is 5, that's x equals 5. Okay? All right, so let's jump into it here. We got some example problems to go through. Anytime you see GP, that is just the little shorthand for guided practice. All right, so go to page 26. We will be doing number 1 of the guided practice, page 26. It's right at the bottom of the page. I'm going to read it aloud. You are looking at the book right now. You're going to write an equation or an inequality for the sentence. Here's your sentence. The quotient, right there. The word quotient means division. And you should remember from the last video that my preference for quotient is you will be creating just a big fraction. Okay, so I'm going to put the fraction line out there. We know we are creating some type of fraction. Also, same thing as division. All right. Quotient of a number P and 12. They said a number P first, so that's what goes on top. And that's our division line, 12. So that's the quotient of a number P and 12. And let's finish it off, is at least. You should be using the chart that is in your notes, because I'm sure you already copied that down, is at least. Where is that in the chart? Let's say it is going to be a greater than or equal to symbol. And how do we finish it? 30. All right, so the quotient of P, that's on top, and there's our division, 12 on the bottom, is, so that's like the heads up, like, hey, it's either an equal sign or an inequality. There's the phrase at least, meaning it could be or it could be more. So that's why it's greater than or equal to. And then the last thing they give you is 30. All right, so let's move on. We're now going to do number 7 on page 29, actually potentially part of your homework. So turn to page 29. We're taking a look at number 7. This is the product. So that word right there, multiplication. We're doing some multiplication. The product of 9. So we know we're going to have 9 multiplied by something. Now this is a key phrase coming up. The quantity. This is important. This will be an added note. That phrase, the quantity, means whatever's coming next needs to go inside parentheses. All right, again, the phrase, the quantity, means whatever comes next is going inside parentheses. So let's get that started. That's half of my parenthesis. What comes next? 5 more than a number t. 5 more than a number t. All right, this is where you break it off because the next word after t is the word is, and is starting a brand new statement. All right, it's saying here comes either an equal sign or an inequality. So we know that that 5 plus t, that's what goes in parentheses. Now let's finish it off. Is less than, and the final piece, 6. All right, so that is what number 7 should look like. Again, if you need extra help on that, pause the video and rewind it. Watch the whole explanation again. Okay, let's take a look now at number 9, page 29. All right, so number 9, the sum of a number b. So we have b, and we know this is going to be some type of addition because it says the sum, and 3. So there's the 3, is greater than 8. Greater than 8. Okay. And less. Okay. Now this is the key part here. This is what we should see. This is leading up to what could be called a compound inequality, meaning there's going to be 2 inequality symbols. So you have the option of either writing this whole sentence as one big compound inequality or as 2 individual simple inequalities. So let's go back to the original part of the statement here. The sum of a number b and 3, b plus 3, is greater than 8. So we've already represented that whole part, but now here comes the extra. And less than 12. So when they say and, that means let's go back that whole thing at the beginning. B plus 3, and that is less than 12. Okay. This is the example of 2 simple inequalities, but how would it look if I wrote the compound inequality? You should see these are the pieces that share. B plus 3 is in both. Because that is the piece that is in both, that will be the part that actually goes in the middle of the compound inequality. So it's in the middle. Now, how did b plus 3 relate to 12? It was less than 12. How did b plus 3 relate to 8? It was greater than 8. All right, so now you have both styles. You have either 2 simple inequalities or 1 compound inequality. Both are correct. Both could be proper answers. Okay. All right, let's now move into number 4. All right, it is asking us check if this is a solution. Simple enough. How do you check? Plug 5 in for x. All right, that's easy enough. 9 minus 5. What's the answer there? Is it 4? Boom. So what's the answer here? Yes, that's it. Is it? The answer is yes. This does work. So we would say yes, it is a solution. Okay. Last one. Let's take a look at example number 5. Same directions, just didn't write them. So check the solution. Does this work? Take 9, plug it in for x. So you're going to have 2 times 9 plus 3. Let's figure out what that is. 2 times 9 is 18, 19, 20, 21. So this is saying 21 is greater than 21. Is 21 greater than itself? No, it's not. So this technically, because 21 is not greater than itself, you say no, not solution. Okay? Now, the only way this would have been a true statement is if it said 21 is greater than or equal to 21. Then you could say yes, but it didn't. It just says greater than. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Enjoy, go back, review, rewatch, make sure that you understand it all. All right, I'll see you in the next one.